Like I said at the house, I think it's finally springtime in Ohio. It looks beautiful out today. And it's 73 degrees. Nice when I left the house today. My daughter, she saw me off. She's waving at me from the porch. I love that feeling. I hate the feeling, but I love the feeling. Very bittersweet when you leave sometimes. Usually it's more bitter, but every now and again it's pretty sweet when things like that go down the way they do. It's a gorgeous day to talk on camera while you guys watch the road a little bit. It's not dark out, not cloudy out. Just got the truck washed. Looking nice and pretty. This thing hadn't been washed for probably 3 weeks. It's not a good wash anyway. The other day I watched I caught a live feed from the Outcast, Thor, and he was talking about some interesting happenings in his home. If you caught the live feed, you know what I'm talking about. He says he's been having some experiences with what he calls a friendly ghost. Pretty interesting stuff. It's something I do take an interest in. And I mentioned on there on the live feed that about something that happened to me when my son was, when we found out that my wife was pregnant with my son. And I just kind of wanted to throw it out there, talk about that a little bit. See, my stepmom passed away the night before my birthday. The birthday before my son was born. So let's see, when would that have been? It didn't really matter, I guess, but anyway, she passed away at 9 o'clock at night. My birthday was on a Monday. She passed away on Sunday night. Absolutely devastating. It was unexpected. My dad called me at 1 o'clock in the morning and I didn't hear my phone ring. But when I woke up that morning, and I saw I had a missed call from my dad at 1. You kind of get that feeling in the pit of your stomach because it's just not right. It's just not something that they ever do. If somebody ever does, somebody that you know like that, they don't just call you at 1 in the morning. Maybe like a friend will if you're on like a Saturday night or whatever. You're, hey, want to go to the bar? Whatever. But your parents don't normally call you that time of night unless something absolutely horrible has happened. And I walked out of the bedroom and my wife was already up with the kids, or with our daughter, and I didn't even want to listen to the voicemail because I had that serious of a negative feeling. And so I just called my dad instead of listening to the voicemail. And my worst fears that I had thought about when I saw that missed call had come true. And it was just bad all the way around, So, anyways, with that part said, my wife and I had been trying for probably a little over a year, to get pregnant with our second child. Things just weren't lining up. I mean, anybody out there that's actually tried to have kids, not just, oh, I forgot to put the condom on, you're pregnant. Anybody that's actually tried to have kids and, has been on the schedule and, it can be tough. I mean, it can be, if it doesn't happen right away, it's especially with my job because I'm gone. So it's just really tough to line it up perfectly, And, we were getting pretty kind of fed up about not seeing results. It was starting to break our hearts a little bit. We weren't sure if it was going to happen. We were losing hope, and we really wanted to have a second kid. More than anything. So I was home for a couple of nights, and both nights, I had the exact same dream, and I've never had a dream like this in my life. An invisible entity was handing me a baby. All there were arms cradling a baby as they handed this baby to me. And it got even more specific than that. The baby was wrapped in a blue blanket. So, obviously, in my dream, it was a boy, right? Pink would have been a girl, blue would have been a boy. And, I told my wife about it, thought that was interesting. Kind of joked a little bit about it, shrugged it off. And then the very next night, I had the exact same dream. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. I told my wife again the next morning, and that morning I had to go to work. So I got my things ready and left for the road. Well, unbeknownst to me, it got my wife's curiosity going. And she took a test. And I came home the following Monday for, the night anyway. And she had taken pictures with our daughter, and she was showing me the pictures. And in those pictures, it told me, it was a surprise. My wife surprised me with it. She told me that she was pregnant within the pictures. And I couldn't believe it. Like I said, right after those dreams, I could not believe it. And at that time, my wife did not know that the dream went so far as to say that it was a boy. I just told her that we had a baby. Because it was just a dream. I didn't want to get into specifics. So at that time, I never told her it was a boy. Anyways, a week later, I went ahead and told my wife, I'm like, I'll be a little more convinced that dream was a foreshadowing of what was to come if it's actually a boy. And I told her that, in my dream, he was wrapped in a blue blanket both times. And it really kind of, I don't want to say it freaked us out, but it was just kind of one of those things, like, just kind of makes you think. And then, sure enough, when we had the reveal of the sex, we found out it was a boy. Sweet morning. And it was just strange. And then also, not long after my wife told me she was pregnant, and right after I told her about the blue blanket, I was out here somewhere, and she was texting me, and we were talking about it over text, and I don't know, it's weird when I think about it. That's why I'm pausing so much. But I went to write out in the text my stepmom's name, which is Marty. And, you know, somehow, and somebody's going to say, well, it was just a glitch, it was just that, it was just this, you know, whatever. And I'm not a religious or a spiritual person. I'm just not. I'm very agnostic. I think there might be something out there. I'm not going to say there isn't. But I don't believe in any specific thing, you know? And so, you know, none of this is chalked up to my religious beliefs. Anyway, I went to spell out my stepmom's name, which is Marty. M-A-R-T-Y. I got halfway through spelling her name, and my phone automatically auto-corrected to Angel and a smiley face. I'm not joking. Because I think within that text I was thinking that. I wasn't quite saying it, but I was thinking like, you know, maybe our son, maybe my stepmom is our son's Angel before he enters into our world. And like I said, I mean, the word Marty is nowhere close to the spelling of Angel. And it automatically auto-corrected from Marty to Angel with a smiley face. I don't know. You know, I don't know what to even say about that. It was just so weird, so coincidental. I mean, like I said, if it was anything remotely, like if it was Angela, if her name was Angela, and it auto-corrected to Angel, that'd be one thing. But it's Marty, and it auto-corrected to Angel. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but in a good way, you know. It kind of like, it kind of made my suspicions feel like they were coming from more of a concrete source. So I don't know, it was just, that was my experience right there, you know. And like I said, I'm not religious, but I'll tell you, the entire time during my wife's pregnancy, I put a lot of faith into that. I put a lot of faith into my son's well-being because I told myself that my stepmom was his angel. And he was in good hands. And when I was at home talking to my wife about it, you know, first off, I loved how amazing of a grandmother she was to our daughter. Whenever we would go over to their farm, you know, she was just great. She was amazing with our daughter, with Kinley. As she always was with my sister and me when we were kids. She was just, you know, she was a great stepmom, a great grandmother, very gentle. The stereotypical angelic type of person. So it would not surprise me. Anyways, I was talking to my wife about it at home, and she, you know, I told her, I said, you know, what really breaks my heart so much right now is that my stepmom isn't going to be around to meet our son. I'll tell you what, I don't know, man. When I talk about my kids and things like that, I don't become emotional about things very often. But my kids, when I think about my kids, it's just, it's just emotion city, man. So pardon me. But anyway, I told my wife when we were talking. I was talking to her about it, and I told her, I said, look, I just wish my stepmom had a chance to meet our son. And my wife looked at me right in the eyes and said, she probably has. And I think she's right. I think she's absolutely right. I'm sure that my stepmom met our son before we did. And people can say what they want to about it. Everybody has their own beliefs, their own opinions. Even if you say you don't have a belief, that's having a belief. A lack of a belief is a belief. And I don't criticize anybody for their specific beliefs necessarily. It's their opinions. But I can't, like I said, I'm not a religious person, so I can't chalk that up to my religious beliefs. It was just what it was. This video's already gone on for 17 minutes. Wow. Didn't realize that. I'm talking about it for so long. But yeah, that's just, that's my little story for the day. It was just absolutely unexplainable. I told my dad about it. My dad's a 100% atheist. He's even, less religious than me. At least I think there could be something out there. But he's absolutely atheist. My stepmom wasn't. She was a believer. She read her Bible. She went to church. She was a believer, And I told my dad about it, and, he was impressed. Because my dad had a spiritual experience like that, even though he doesn't believe. But he always, he would always say whenever he was working on his farm back in the woods or back in the back fields, that was his church. That was his chance to reflect on life. And something similar happened to him, and I'll try to make it really short. But he was out there farming, or he was out there cultivating his field, getting it ready for planting. And he has an open cab tractor, or had an open cab tractor, and he was making his passes along the field, and a deer came out of the woods right beside the field and danced with the tractor, it wasn't afraid. It was not scared of my dad or this big, loud, obnoxious Alice Chalmers tractor. And it literally danced with the tractor for he said about 2 or 3 passes. And my dad's not one to exaggerate. And this is a big field. This field alone is probably 40 or 50 acres. So it's a long and wide field. And so for several passes, that deer danced with my dad and his tractor, played with it. And my dad thought it was amazing. He'd never seen anything like it, Anyways, he got done for the day and went home. And right when he walked in the door, he got a phone call from his mom that his aunt, one of his favorite aunts, had just passed away at the exact time that deer was playing with his tractor. So even though my dad's not an atheist, even though he is an atheist, he still has moments of believing in unexplainable occurrences like that. And he said that he thinks it was his aunt, telling him that everything was okay and that she was okay. And I kind of feel like I had the same type of experience, but over a more prolonged period with my stepmom. Just amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. Anybody that thinks they have life completely understood is absolutely wrong. They'll never understand how life works. Nobody will. But anyway, my voice cracked. Holy cow. Anyway, I am going to get off here and leave you guys doing whatever you're doing. I hope you all do well out there. I hope you all are staying safe and making some money. And I hope you guys are going to see your family soon if you haven't this weekend, which I hope you guys had a good weekend, by the way. And we will see you guys all another time. Take care.